Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, freaks and geeks, worms and germs, and welcome to Cinemastrophe'S Cocktail Hour. I'm your host, Tahi LaRocco, aka Don Perignon, aka Fish, aka The Doctor, aka Slogan, aka a bunch of other names I went through over the years. Now, I won't be drinking today because we're recording in the morning this time. That's not completely true. I am finishing off this beer that I had last night, but I'm only doing that because I don't want it to go flat on me. I know some people are going to be sitting there saying, well, you could just pour it out. Well, yeah, I can, but that's a sin. With me is my co host, the Ed Sullivan to my Johnny Carson, the Costello to my Albert, the Hardy to my Laurel, the Scooby Dum to my Scooby Doo, the Slowpoke to my Speedy, Miss Robin Dubois.
You were on a roll.
Oh, how's it going, Robin? That one was kind of hard because you didn't say anything funky last week. I was like, oh man, what am I going to say this week? She didn't say anything that I can put
That's
on the
funny.
spot.
I think it's too early. That's why.
I was like, last week she didn't say anything, but then I didn't finish editing last week yet. So maybe you
That's
might have
so,
said something towards the end that I forgot about.
that's so funny.
How was your week?
It was actually after my little car incident during the snowstorm, I've been having to get rides from people. That's been pretty good. It's nice being not the driver and being driven around. I forgot how nice that was.
It's one of the reasons why I never got my license.
Yeah, like, it's freaking nice. Shit.
No, really. I don't have my license now just because it just became a habit. But originally, the first time, like from the time I was 18 to about 28, I purposely did not get my license because I did not want to be designated driver. That was my only reason.
That's hilarious. And that just goes to show you the lifestyle that you were living.
I did not want to be designated. Afterwards, it just became a habit of just not going. Like,
And
I
then
could go take this 5 hour class, but I could be doing something else in that time. So I would go do whatever it was I could have been doing instead.
no, so you live in the city, like boroughs, anyways.
Yeah, but the first 10 years was literally just so I wouldn't be designated driver.
Gosh, how exciting was that time? Like, nah, you were probably doing some crazy shit, weren't you?
Oh, we had
Like,
fun.
not I, said the cat. I'm not driving.
I never had to say that.
Right? They'd
That
be like,
was
oh,
the
he's
best
just off
part.
the list.
I was automatically disqualified. I could drink as much as I want.
That's so funny.
Yeah, we used to have fun though. I remember we ran this club once. I mean, when I say ran this club, we ran this club. We knew the owner, we knew all the security, we knew the bartenders, we knew the DJ. We would get there before the club would open and go through the back door to help them set up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember one time I got so drunk. I I was like, I'm going to go to sleep. I just laid on the couch. I was asleep, but I could still hear what's going on, and I hear, "Hey, buddy, you gotta get." Oh, that's him. Oh, he's all right. Just let him be. And it was a security guard. They was about to kick me out, and they realized who I was, and they were like, "Oh no, he's okay."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we had fun.
Anything. I didn't get my license till I was 25. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's all a blur. All a blurb. I got my permit at 17 because I needed a form of identification mostly.
Yeah, yeah. I had the non-driver's license. Well, the
Yeah.
ID, state ID. That's what's going. Yeah, I had the state ID.
So I'm like thinking about it. I
Now I
still
have the
have.
permit, just in case I ever want to go take that stupid 5 hour class.
I think you can take it online now.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe I will do it then. All right,
Yeah,
you
like
take
I
it
did the
online.
defensive driving course a few months ago, but you didn't have to sit there for 5 hours consecutively. You like could break it up. You could take 30 minutes of it, take the first part of the quiz, and then come back to it. You had like a week. to finish it or
It's
something?
more of going to the class than taking the actual class. That's the issue. Because then you got to find a place, and then you can only do it on certain days.
Yeah, mostly Saturdays. I don't
Yeah,
think, yeah, I
mostly
want to take it.
Saturdays and Thursdays. And there was times I would work on Saturdays. It was just mostly, yeah, it mostly had to do with the days you can take them. But if you can take it online, that's different because then you can take it anywhere.
Yeah,
You could be on
actually,
the
yeah,
bus taking it right on your
but-
phone. So yeah, I might actually take that class now. That's different.
yeah, especially with COVID now, they probably are just doing remote. Oh, yeah, yeah, that makes sense. How fun. Honestly, the one fact that I remember from that 5 hour class was the most dangerous time to drive is when the rain first starts. I'm like, huh, that's a life lesson I said I would carry with me, and I did. How many years? 5 years later? Five? No. Mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah.
And I did. Okay. I think your lesson is not to drive in the rain at all.
Yeah. Oh, or this. No, that was my lesson last week. Don't you see a flurry? Nope, can't go into work. Sorry. That's my life lesson. And yeah, that's been great being driven around this week. And I think today is like an exciting day for me. I was so excited. I was up at 7 o'clock because I get to go out with my friends today without the baby.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, you don't go out with your friends
No, I haven't been.
without the baby. That's different. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
you don't go out with your friends? You just sit in the house all day? I mean, I know we got COVID, but I'm pretty sure you could go to their house. Oh, without the baby, that's different.
I think the last time I've been to someone's house was last month or December, and she lives around the corner.
And you had the baby, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. See, now it makes sense. Without the baby. Those are the key words.
Yeah. And I'm like excited.
So, WandaVision.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, I watched it. I actually watched it on Friday this time instead of on Monday or Saturday.
So, for people who don't know who Wanda was before the whole Avengers thing, even question like when I refer to her as Scarlet Witch, they're like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "That's who Wanda is." They're like, "What?" They don't ever mention that, and I always wondered why they never mentioned that. And then, no, are we doing spoilers or
All right. Well, by the time they hear this, it'll be next Monday. Go ahead.
right?
If you ain't watch it
So
by then, they ain't our
that's on
fault.
you. Yeah,
Next Monday. Hell, by the time you hear this, the season's over.
right. It's over for you. So yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
that's
this
who
week
she
is the last
is.
episode. So yeah,
Yep.
by the time you hear this, the season's over.
So that's on you if you're listening to this and you didn't watch it. That's on you. You had time. But yeah, it was pretty cool because I'm like my friends who were never like really into like the whole Marvel superhero thing before the movie franchise. I it was so fun breaking it down for them. Like, yeah, Scarlet Witch, that is her superhero code name. We thought she was just Wanda. Period. So, like,
I
and
thought
they're like,
everyone knew it was a Scarlet Witch.
no, a lot of like people who don't like who is this girl? I'm like, that's Wanda and Pietro. And people also think Pietro, that's his name. I'm like, no, Quicksilver is his superhero code name. Like,
You see, you know why I thought everyone would know by now? Oh well, that's right. They didn't. I don't know. I just think people are smart, but apparently not
you get
because Pedro's been in the mutant movies. So and they used the name Pedro in the mutant movie.
it's like it went over there. They didn't
Yeah,
hear
so
it.
I'm like, you
Yeah.
hear Pedro in this, and it's the same one because they had the same powers. And
Exactly.
his name is Quicksilver, and everyone knows Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch is Quicksilver. So I figured, they put two and two together.
No, a lot of people did not realize or think about. They're like, wait, his name was Pietro in the X-Men movie. Like, I did get a few questions like that. I'm like, yeah. So that's exciting. And Agnes, I love Agnes. That was like the little theme song they created for her. That was really
Oh, it was Agatha all. Yeah, that was funny. It was Agatha all along.
So such a good time, and exactly what we assumed. Like she grew up watching these movies. That's why she was so attached to them and related. And then the fact that she created Vision from her own body and mind. I'm like, wait. So then why did the
That's what I was gonna say. That's I
uh
was about.
huh
To, I was like, no, I was thinking in my head there was something specific about that episode. Yeah, this is how we get the white vision. That's what I was thinking in my head. Yeah, I was like there was something specific about this episode. Yeah, this is how we get the white vision.
mm-hmm.
Because remember, for a while, Vision it was he was white or gray, whichever way you want to call it, and then he got the colors back. He started out with the multicolors, green and yellow, green and red, and then he became the white Vision. I think he actually, yeah, I think he died. I think he died, and then came back as the white Vision. Somehow they brought him back. Not the way he died in the movie, people. Just it was completely different. But yeah, I think he died. They came back as the white Vision, and then somehow he turned back into original Vision. I forgot how.
I
Maybe I
feel
need to
like
look up the
maybe
concept.
she'll be able to implant the Vision from her world into that body. That would be pretty.
That would make sense. And then when you have the white Vision for the next couple
Yeah,
of movies.
right. So I'm like. But you know what I still question? Remember in Endgame how Shuri when she was scanning, and I had to rewatch it a few times too because I'm like, I know she did like a digital scan of the Mind Stone when she was like seeing Vision, and when they bust into the lab, she hid it away somewhere. I thought that would come into play, but who knows? Maybe later on.
What I'm confused is about the footage of Wanda stealing Vision.
Right.
Remember they showed
Because
that? I'm
that
like,
didn't
how
match
did
up.
that? Yeah, I was like, so how did they?
I was confused about that
How was
also,
they
but
able
I'm
to
like,
change it like that? And who? Well, obviously he did, but it's like how did they manage? That's I'm like how did they change it like that?
yeah, because like we do notice that. Like I'm like, I could get if he lied about her taking the body. Okay, that's a verbal lie. But there was video footage of her
Yeah,
doing
I'm like, how
so.
did they change that to make it look like that? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that don't make no sense. That did not make because that's not. She was wearing her costume
Was
in
she?
that the video footage that he showed everyone just showing that she stole it. She was wearing her scarlet, her little leather jacket and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, the same. The clothes she was wearing. She's wearing her regular clothes.
Yeah.
When
So
she
I'm
went.
like, that literally doesn't not match the footage that we've seen in her flashback. So there's a gap there. Hopefully they explain it.
Yeah, they probably will. I was just like, I'm just trying to like, I'm just wondering how that plays into things.
And there's like some, and I'm also explaining to people that you have like some people like you have to watch these series because they will interconnect into the movies. Because if you miss something in the series, you may not follow everything that's going on in the movie. Like what happened between Captain Marvel and you
Captain
know
Marvel.
and the captain. What
Captain Marvel.
Yes, Captain. Well, technically, they don't know that
But
yet.
I think the other name she went by was Photon. Photon was the other name.
And then they gave a nod to her mom because that's what her mom went by too. That was her code name.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, in the comics at one point I think she did go by Photon. I don't remember it
She
was
did.
before or after she became Captain Marvel.
I think it was before. I think it was before. But you saw how like she got cringy when they mentioned Monica. Monica, yeah. When Monica got so cringy when they mentioned Captain Marvel's name, like was good.
Oh, because no one's supposed to know. That's why. No one was supposed to know.
Really?
Yeah, nobody knows that Danvers is Captain Marvel. That's still a secret.
Well, that the head guy, he knew full
Yeah,
swing,
he
and
found out somehow, but yeah, that's still a secret. Like, of course, Nick Fury knows. She knows. Her mother knew, but those are the only ones. Those are the only ones who knew. Oh, and of
huh?
course, Coulson, because he was there. But yeah, those four were the only ones who knew her real name
I wonder. But the theory is it's going on. Something happened.
until,
Like,
of course, until she started hanging out with the Avengers. Then they knew, but like the general public and the government, they don't know who she is. As far as I think, they think she died in yeah. As far as they know, she died in a plane crash,
that's a good point.
the
Oh,
test
I
pilot
hope so.
accident. Yeah, as
Do you
far as
think?
they know, she's dead.
Do you think that after the movies, like, cause that's into another phase, that there will be a season two?
I don't know. I don't know. This might be a one shot. We'll see.
Yeah,
Depends
like
on
I
how
don't
this
mind
ends.
if it is a one shot. I don't mind. There's a season two. It's like not one of those things you don't want to force or Cause it's so good. It's a masterpiece.
This probably is a one shot though.
Yeah, because I don't see it continuing after this final episode. And I can't wait till they unpack and then I didn't realize that there was after, because like the first few episodes there hasn't been after credit scenes, but the last two episodes there were after credit scenes, and I
Oh
didn't realize that last week.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know why. It just out of general habit, I started fast forwarding at the end of the what's today's to see what comes afterwards, just in case. I just
Yeah,
happened to
we
catch
gave
it.
up after the first 3 or 4 episodes, no after credit scenes, so we're like, okay, fuck it, they're not doing that.
Yeah, no, I didn't give up. I was just keep doing it, especially since like it is you're able to fast forward. You don't have to sit through it. I'll be like, and then if I see a black screen afterwards, oh, okay, I can turn it off.
Like, I just can't wait.
That's just the international credits at that point. I watched Freaky this week.
Freaky, I saw that somewhere.
That was actually pretty good. It was a Bloomhouse film too. It was actually pretty
Wow.
good. It was Freaky Friday comedy horror. Like Happy Death Day was the Groundhog's Day. This is the same thing to Freaky Friday with Vince Vaughn. It was actually really good. And then I started watching.
Oh, I want to see that. That's a
Yeah,
Bloomhouse
yeah, that was a Bloomhouse.
trash.
Yes, it was surprisingly really good. Surprisingly really good. And then we tried to watch Dream Doctor, the sequel to The Shining.
Uh oh, Doctor Sleep,
Yeah. Oh yeah. What did I say? Dream Doctor.
Dream
I'm
Doctor.
sorry, Doctor Sleep.
Close. I
Yes,
knew what you. The
yes,
bootleg
Doctor Sleep.
version. That's what you.
That would be the Asylum version. Dream Doctor. Yes, Doctor Sleep. Doctor Sleep. We tried to watch Doctor Sleep. It's a good movie, but the beginning is so slow. I mean, there is build up, and then there is the build up of a sloth. But at the same time, what they would do is they give you a quick, exciting thing that happens, and then slow progression again. Quick, exciting thing, slow progression.
There's a,
Mind you, this movie is 2.5 hours long. So an hour and 15 minutes in is when the exciting stuff starts to happen, and by that point, I had a headache, and Eddie had to go home. So we're gonna finish watching it today and see if it gets really. I mean, it looked like it was about to get really, really good at this point. But my God, was it slow? Like all of us walked away from the movie a couple of times and didn't even bother to pause it.
I didn't finish the entire the I remember that cringe worthy scene where they were carving that baseball kid up. I'm like, oh, that's ooh.
We got past that, and that was one of the things that made it pick up. And then afterwards, slow it
I
down
fell asleep.
again.
I fell asleep. You merely talking about it makes me remember. Wait, I fell asleep, and I woke up at the end when he was dead,
I didn't
when it
get
was
there
all
yet. I
over.
didn't get there. Stop talking.
Oh,
I just said we have to finish it.
who knows? You don't know who I'm talking about. Who died? Everybody's a
Don't
ghost in
say
this.
nothing. Just be. This is why I hate talking to you about stuff I haven't seen. You don't listen when people are talking, and then just start blurting stuff out.
I'm like thinking about it. Yeah, that was the last. 'Cause up to that part with the baseball scene, that was the last thing I vividly remember.
We got a little further than that.
No,
We got
I
a
didn't.
little
I
further
didn't
than
even
that.
get that far. Nope.
I think it started picking up like another 15 minutes later. That's when things started to pick up. But hopefully it'll stay picked up at this point. But yeah, the beginning progression is really slow.
Yeah, but then I forgot what lost me. It was after that scene they lost me. Yeah, pretty much.
Honestly, I don't remember exactly what happened right after that scene.
Was it?
You know why? Because I went outside to smoke at that point. After I saw that scene, I was like, "These are horrible, horrible people." No, and I was talking about Stephen King when I said that. First, I said, "What does this man have any kids? The hell does he have against children, kids?" And then
Weird.
Eddie is like, "Yeah, he has a son. He's helping him write his new stuff. He helped write this. These are horrible, horrible people. What is wrong with them? Because that scene with the kid, the baseball kid, that was really graphic.
It really was. I'm
That was
like,
really
what
graphic.
the fuck?
That's what I was like, yo, what is with this guy? What does this guy have against children? Like he just in his stories, he loves tormenting kids. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know. The man is very disturbed. Maybe Marilyn Manson learned stuff from him.
Maybe.
I wonder a lot about that man sometimes. Good writer. Gotta wonder where some of this stuff is coming from. Maybe that's just his outlet, so he doesn't take it out on the world. Speaking of taking it out on the world, how about that Snyder cut that's coming out?
Dude. I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch it, but after I didn't know and all that drama that was going on behind the scenes. I did not know that
Yeah.
with Cyborg.
Yeah. What is his name?
So many names in this article. So what is this actor's name? Official is the director. Is it Ray Fisher?
Yep, that's it. Ray Fisher.
Oh, okay, I'm like, wait, God, I'm like,
Yeah, as soon as you said, I remember. Yeah, Ray Fisher. Yeah, that guy. That guy's a piece of work.
yeah,
so,
clearly.
so I don't know if you people have heard about this, but there was Ray Fisher's all of a sudden because of this Snyder's cut coming out, is complaining about Josh Whedon. But mind you, when Josh Whedon first came on board, he was raving about him. So I had Robin look up some articles on this, and I wanted to compare because this is like the George Lucas effect, is what it is. All of a sudden now, George Lucas is talking about how he's disappointed with the way Disney is taking Star Wars, and you got a bunch of young people who are sitting there listening to this garbage because, according to George Lucas, he came from a noble place and and they're doing all this to make money and blah blah blah. Meanwhile, you go back several years ago, he is saying a completely different story. One of the arguments I was having with somebody was about the prequels and how incoherent it was, how the continuity with the original trilogy was not there. It was like all over the place. A lot of stuff made no sense. The acting was horrible. The story was poorly written. Who the hell wants to see a movie about goddamn politics? It's just a lot of nonsense that was going on because he was making it up as he goes along. Now all of a sudden he's acting like he had it planned all along. No, he didn't. You look at an interview he did years ago, he had a 3-page outline in order to write the original Star Wars trilogy. He didn't have anything planned out for Anakin Skywalker. He just made that up at the end because he wanted to make more money. And mind you, this is the same guy who didn't want to kill Han Solo in Return of the Jedi because, and I quote, he said, dead characters cannot sell toys. But now he's trying to be Mr. Holier Than Thou again and claim that Disney is doing the exact same thing he's been doing, but they're wrong for it and they're messing it up. And I wish I never had blah blah blah.
Calling the kettle black.
Yeah, and Ray Fisher's doing the exact same thing. He's pulling a George Lucas. Now all of a sudden, because the Snyder cut is coming out, he's saying the complete opposite of what he said originally. But go ahead. I want you to do let's compare what he said before and what he's saying now.
So pretty much, he debuted as Cyborg 5 years ago, and when he first came on the scene during San Diego's Comic Con, it was a different story. Before the movie premiered, here, let me pull it up. Long article. At the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con, 4 months before Justice League arrived in theaters, Ray Fisher told the crowd that Joss Whedon was a great guy and a good person to come in and finish up the superhero team-up tale for Zack Snyder. On June 29, 2020, Fisher retracted that public statement on social media, although he didn't elaborate right away why he was switching his tune. While Fisher had said multiple times in the years after Justice League's release that he enjoyed working with Snyder, this was the first time he publicly voiced any dissatisfaction he had with Whedon. On July 1st, 2020, Ray Fisher tweeted that Josh Whedon's
Hold
treatment
on.
of
Several times, he praised after the movie came out. That means he was done. They were finished. He was all set. The movie's already premiered. People already saw it, and a lot of people didn't like it. But yet he still was praising. I was about to say Jordan, praising Josh Whedon and how he was a good.
right.
He
He
even
didn't have
said
to,
he even
like,
said stuff like, "Oh, he learned a lot under Josh Whedon. He's glad he came aboard."
you didn't have to say anything at
Yeah,
all. How about
yeah.
that?
So that's how I just want to point that out. Several times he's praising this man after Justice League already came out. Okay, continue. Now, 2020.
So he tweeted, the downfall of social media again. Josh Whedon's treatment of Justice League cast and crew were gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable. But Whedon wasn't the only person Fisher name dropped, as he also stated the producers, Johns and John Berg, enabled the director's behavior. Berg called these claims of abuse categorically untrue.
Mind you, now in the new Snyder cut, he has more scenes. All of a sudden he has more scenes, and because a lot of his original scenes were cut from Justice League the first time. Yet he was still praising Josh Whedon. But now he has more
Right. And
scenes
he
in the
didn't
director, the
have
Snyder's
to.
cut.
That's the thing what makes him look like a Tweedledum. Okay, first time, okay, he's a great guy because someone asked you during Comic Con, okay. But then you went out of your way after the fact to say how great of a, like,
And
you know what I mean?
I get the before the Comic Con because he hadn't worked with him yet, and he said he was a great guy. He's like,
Right. And that makes sense because, like, they're directly, it's a panel, okay.
yes,
You haven't worked with him directly
yeah,
yet. Like,
he's going by his work. But after the movie's done, you've worked with this man. If you think he's an asshole, why are you still saying several times how great he was to work with?
And unless he had a gun to his, or a plasma cannon to his head, I don't know.
Because this wasn't even promoting the movie. This is just after the movie's already out and people have seen it. Because everybody ran to see that in the first 2 days. So why are you still saying this if it's not true?
And allegedly, at one point, Fisher was upset that the filmmakers wanted to say "Booyah," Cyborg's catchphrase, best known for the Teen Titans animated series. Honestly, it's kind of like that part made me
What?
laugh because I'm like, it would be kind of tacky for him to say "Booyah." That's like they're saying that's one of the reasons
No,
why
I got
Fisher
that,
was
but
upset
yeah, I
with
don't
them.
understand why you're
Yeah,
upset when it's a comment directly to the cartoon. I don't get that. Like,
yeah,
why would
like
you be upset about that?
yeah, that's what the producers say that Fisher was upset about. One of the things.
Like, why would you be upset about that? That makes no sense to be upset about. Probably because he
And
never
at
watched
the
Teen Titans cartoon. And like, if you don't know,
right,
what?
then you don't
Man,
understand the weight of, like, how fun it is to say,
it's.
like, if you're
I
just a
mean,
third party coming in, it
let's
sounds
call a
stupid, but
spade. It doesn't care how dark you make it. This movie's still for kids, and the kids are gonna know what booyah is, and they're gonna want to see Cyborg say booyah. So why would you be mad that they asked you to say booyah? You know why? Because you think they're being racist to you, and you never watched the cartoon. Probably have no idea what Teen Titans is.
right.
You just heard
And
DC superhero movie, black person. Hey, I can do that. I don't know who he is or what he's about, what his background is, but I fit that criteria. And they're gonna get mad and say they're being racist because they want you to say booyah. You piece of shit.
Fucking bullshit!
so at the end of that same July, Ray Fisher acknowledged that he understood the professional risk for speaking out against Josh Whedon, Jeff Johns, and John Berg, but he would not relent. 2 weeks later, on August 12th, Fisher alleged that after he tried to take his grievances with Whedon up the proper chain of command, Johns called the actor into his office and made a thinly veiled threat to his career. And now, I didn't even know that Ray Fisher announced that following 5 weeks of interview, They launched a third party investigation to get to the heart of the toxic and abusive work environment created during the Justice League reshoots. It was clear that Fisher was happy with this development. As he said, he was confident that the investigation would show Josh Whedon, Jeff Johns, and John Berg grossly abused their power during the uncertainty of AT&T's merger with Time Warner. And as we soon learned, though, just because an investigation launched doesn't mean the process goes smoothly. A few months ago, September 2020, Ray Fisher stated after he spoke out against what went on in Justice League, he was called up by Walter Hamada, the president of DC Films, who supposedly attempted to throw Josh Whedon and John Berg under the bus in hopes that Fisher would relent on Jeff Johns, which Fisher would not. Warner Brothers not only denied this, but claimed that Fisher was not cooperating with the investigation. To which the actor countered with proof that he had intended to meet with the investigator. DC was too busy getting involved in social media nonsense. Jason Momoa, I love him, and Kingsley Clemens. I don't know who that was in the movie. Kingsley Clemens, do you
Which
know?
movie?
In Justice League, Kingsley Clemens. Well, Jason Momoa and Kingsley Clemens threw in their support behind Ray Fisher, and Momoa later posted an explicit response about the situation. Oh, what a twist. I misread that. I didn't know that they were supporting Ray Fisher because they witnessed stuff that was a bit fishy. Not long after that, Fisher said that the independent firm Warner Brothers hired for investigation had avoided contact key witnesses, and he also alleged that Walter Hamna said that Josh Whedon was an asshole that he never planned on hiring.
Wait, who? What?
Pretty much Fisher said that Walter Hamna said that Josh Whedon was an asshole he never planned on
Now we're going to the
hiring.
he said, she said.
Yes, this is a
Fucking
lot of
Christ.
back and forth. He said she.
Jesus!
The end result of this is that
He ain't gonna have a cyborg
Fisher
movie. That's
won
what the
over.
end result is. He also
Yeah,
wanted.
he was
Yeah, he
supposed to have
also
a
wanted more
cyborg
money
one.
too. Yeah, don't forget about that. He actually wanted more money for doing these reshoots, for doing the what's the name? The reshoots for the what's the name? He wanted more money too. That's another reason why all this came out, because they wouldn't give him more money.
And this is kind of not fair for the character of Cyborg because now they no longer will he be just Cyborg. They're cutting him out completely out of the Flashpoint movie. And I'm like, okay, that's going to be a mistake on DC's part because he played a major part in that movie. So they're just cutting it out. They're not recasting. They're just cutting those scenes out. I'm like, what? This is the problems. You're cutting too much out.
No,
So
they can still do it. They did it on a TV show with the Flash without anybody. So there's ways they can do it, and it was good.
I mean, it was planned for that. You know, it was good, but then that's the thing. It's already been shot. They're just cutting it out. Like, we're just going to chop this up a bit. Chop, 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 chop,
Well,
chop, chop, chop.
we'll see. This is just. It's,
It's a lot of he said, she said, and it's very disappointing.
it's not surprising. Not surprising at all. Warner Brothers is a
Can't,
mess
and then
to
that's the
begin with.
thing. They could just recast, though.
They could, but they're a mess.
Yeah, it's really a mess. It's like he said, she said, social media nonsense. See, Marvel doesn't have time for this type of
They're
nonsense. They're
they're a
fun
mess
with
as a
it.
movie company. Period. DC with Warner Brothers and AT&T combined.
AT&T now
It's a mess.
involved, like.
It's a mess.
It's a madhouse! A madhouse!
Terribly disappointing.
That's what happens when you try to rush everything instead of taking your time.
Right. And I'm like, I feel like I was excited for Flashpoint because I love that story. But I feel like they're gonna jack it
I
up.
don't even know what that story is.
Oh my god! You should watch the animated movies. They're pretty
No,
good.
I'm good. I don't care about reboots anymore. I'm so tired of reboots, especially DC's.
Nah, but yeah, just watch the animated movie
At
because
least,
that
at
one
least
came
with
out a few years
Marvel,
ago.
when they do a reboot, they don't reboot an entire fucking universe. They might make another universe, but they won't reboot an entire universe to start over again. That's what I fucking hate about DC. It's so annoying.
Right.
Like, you got all this history, and then they're like, "Oh, let's just erase that and start over."
Yeah, but I like the DC animated movies were always good. We'll never knock them for that.
Yeah, that's true. They are. They are
But
pretty
the Flashpoint movie, it was pretty good. It came out a few years ago. It was pretty good. For I know I don't want to ruin it for you. You should definitely take the time to watch that one.
All right, I will. I'll try to watch that.
Yeah, I think it's on. It might be on HBO Max because you know how they
Probably.
have their
Yeah,
DC category.
yeah, if it was on DC, it's on HBO Max, which is now DC Infinite. Fucking asswipes. Speaking of movies, what the hell is the movie was for? Oh, right.
I.
I was about to get all bent out of shape, and then I remember what movie it was. I Care a Lot. Netflix original movie. I forgot to look up who was in this. Hold on. Give me 30 seconds.
I like to rate the movies on Netflix. What did you
I Care a Lot.
starring
Rosamund
Pike,
Rosamund Pike. Yeah, Rosamund Pike. Eliza Gonzalez.
Peter
Diana West. Is it West or West?
Weist, I think. Weist.
Yeah, Diana West.
Peter
And Peter
Dinklage.
Dinkle. Yep, Peter Dinklage. Netflix original movie. And you know what? It was pretty good.
It was, as you might
It
see.
was pretty good. So it starts out with this woman giving a narration. That's what it was. And the narration is important, but I'm not going to go through it. I didn't bother writing it down or anything. But it does make sense what she's saying. Even though I hate fucking narrations. You get a lot of exposition without it feeling like it's dragging, was the way they present it. As this exposition is going on, you're going through a nursing home and watching how the old people are treated. Then this guy comes in, starts talking to the clerk desk, then starts screaming at her, and then there's a whole riot. He tries to break in, he gets thrown out. And then we cut to this woman in court
With
with
this
this guy.
sharp haircut. Sharp. That's like the straightest bob I've ever seen. But continue.
What was her name?
It was, I would say, the bitch because she was referred to that often.
Mira Grayson. That's what it was. Mira
Yeah,
Grayson,
Mary.
played
Yep.
by Rosanna. I have no idea. I've never seen this woman before, or maybe I have and
Me
just don't remember.
neither. I don't know. Have I? Let me see.
But yeah, Mira Grayson, played by Rosamund Pike. That Rosamund, Rosamund. I've never heard.
Oh, I've actually seen her before. She was in Gone Girl, Jack Reacher, Die Another Day. That's. I think I remember
Die Another
her.
Day.
Yeah.
What was Die Another?
Pride and Prejudice.
Wait.
Die Another Day
Was the
is
James?
Bond,
Oh,
James Bond.
who was she in Die Another Day?
I'm trying to remember. Doom. She was in Doom. Wrath of
Right.
the
Okay. That's
Titans.
yes. Okay. Doom. Right. Okay. Yes. She was a doctor in Doom. Oh, she's been around for a while.
She has Pride and Prejudice.
I didn't see Pride and Prejudice. I saw Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. I didn't see Pride and
I
Prejudice
read the book.
because I've seen all the remakes of them back in the '90s when they were remaking everything in '90 fashion, like The Taming of the Shrew, 10 Things I Hate About You, Romeo and Juliet, those type of things. But I never saw the original.
Ah, I had to look
I
up.
went low when I was just talking just now, wasn't I? Didn't I? So yeah, Maria, Maria is Maria, right?
Aria. No, it's RLA.
Oh, it's
Marla.
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 Okay, that's why it
Her name
seemed
is
weird. I was like, I
Marla.
don't remember her name being Marla. Okay, right. I'm like, I don't remember her name being Maria. Why does this look weird? Marla. Okay, that's better. Marla Grayson. Right. So she's in court. Her name, Marla Grayson's in court with this man, and apparently his mother's in that nursing home, and she is his mother's caregiver and is denying him access. Turns out this woman makes a living off of robbing old people.
Coaching on old people. She has a whole system
She
in
has a
place.
doctor in her pocket that gives fake prescriptions on old people who live alone and have money. And I don't mean like, what are you doing?
It's not me.
Oh,
Yeah, my sister came by. I'm in her room.
oh. It sounded like you were searching through a drawer for something.
Yeah, she is.
I'm like, what are you doing?
I
Making a
didn't know she'd
sandwich?
be. That would be nice right now, but I'll wait till later. I'm so excited.
This
But yeah,
She has a doctor on retainer who fills out false medical claims on old people who live alone, lonely old people. She has a nursing home director on retainer who lets her know when a patient dies and holds rooms for her to put these people in. And they all get a cut of this money. It is a scam to rob lonely old people of everything they have. And I said, yes, rich with money. And I don't mean people like rich old. Like if you just have asset, a house, a car, a small savings account, they will set you up for you to be in a nursing home and this woman have control of all your assets. And then she would sell all your stuff, your house, your car, your furniture. She'd clean out your savings account, and it was all legal. She had a whole firm with about 30 to 50 clients. It was insane.
And a judge, like, even though
The,
I don't
the
think he
judge
was in
isn't
on
on
it,
the
he was
take,
listening.
but the way they had this set up, it was conning the judge so badly.
Right. In her pocket. In her, what's that term? He was in her pocket or in her
The
hand, palm
judge
of
was
her
the
hand.
only one who wasn't in on it at all. But they did such a good job to convince the judge that these people were incapable of taking care of themselves. Because, I mean, what are you going to do? You don't need a judge in your pocket. You have a doctor who's writing fake prescriptions saying these people can't take care of themselves anymore. She was saying that they started getting dementia. They started losing memory. They couldn't remember coming in the week before because they never came in the week before, but she would write it in the books like they did. And then you got the nursing home guy who wouldn't let the family access them.
That was so sad.
Yeah, the family didn't have access to them. They didn't have access to any phones. They were basically under lock and key as prison. So there's nobody to check in on these people and then keep them drugged up. Yeah, so a judge would see this and think that he was doing the right thing by putting this woman in charge, and she was doing what needed to be done. Because even if they're like, okay, the judge is like, I want to see this person. He goes, sees him, that person's drugged up. And because that person tried to escape, they have video of that person trying to escape. Meanwhile, that person shouldn't be there to begin with. But they make it seem like she's violent. So they had this system on lock.
Hmm.
So, of course, the judge rules in her favor. And then there's a confrontation. And see, this is the thing about this movie. Uh, they fuck with your head a lot. There's a confrontation between her and the guy whose mother is in that nursing home. He's trying to get access to see her. And she does an empowerment woman speech on him. And it's so good that entire time and a little bit afterwards, you forget that this woman is a piece of shit.
Right.
Like when she went in that man's face and talking about, yeah, what you think you can tickle me everywhere you want because you got a penis, da 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 da, and all you can do is call her a bitch, and then because I'm a pop, and you're like with her, you're like, yeah, that's right, mother, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, this woman's a piece of shit. It just dawns on you, she's stealing this old person's life savings. She's like, wait a minute, this woman's a piece of shit. So she has this company that does all this. Unfortunately, she's very good at it. She's been doing it for a while. And she gets a call from the nursing home director and there's an opening. Then she gets a call from the doctor. She says she has what they call is a cherry, which we would call a whale. A white whale. That's what this one woman is. Apparently she has no living relatives. She has a safety deposit box, a nice house, some cars, and a good savings. She's in decent health, which means she'll be alive for a while. Because also, this lady gets a check from the city to help take care of whoever she's in charge of. So that's why they want them to live for a long time because that money keeps coming in. So yeah, this woman, she's pretty healthy, probably live for a long time, no relatives with to speak of, blah blah blah. Nice house, a lot of money, right? So they put the fix on her and get her sent into the nursing home. So while they're taking over this woman's house and selling her stuff, they find a key which leads to a safety deposit box. And in this safety deposit box, I keep forgetting to mention that Marla has a girlfriend named Fran.
She's been in a few movies, Fran.
Yeah, I didn't. I started to look it up and I was like, yeah, a lot of these people look familiar, but not familiar enough for me to notice. You know what movie she's from on offhand?
Dang, I just pulled it up. She was in recent films such as Baby Driver, Bloodshot. I didn't get to
I
see
didn't see neither one
Bloodshot
of those.
yet.
Yeah, I got to see Bloodshot
From Dusk Till Dawn,
though.
the series.
I
Hobbs
don't
and
remember who she
Shaw,
was in that. I actually watched that.
Battle.
Unless she. Oh yeah, I know who she was. Okay, I know who she was.
She was in Battle Angel,
I
Alita
didn't see
Battle
that yet.
Angel.
But that doesn't count anyway.
Oh,
It's voice acting. I mean, it's real acting, but they're not. I wouldn't recognize her.
I don't know if she was the voice in
No,
Alita
the
because there,
voice. No.
Alita was the only
The voice in Alita
cyborg.
was uh. She does a lot of voiceover work. She was in this original Hulu's. I think it was a series or a movie. Anyway, it's not her. It's not her. But she does.
Yeah, I forgot what
The voice
character
who
she
played
was
Alita,
in
she does
there.
a lot of voiceover work. I've seen her in like one or two things physically, but she does mostly voiceover work.
She's in Godzilla versus Kong. We haven't seen that yet. Can't wait for that.
And the woman who the old lady, the white whale, is played by Diana Weiss.
No, they call her Cherry.
But
That's a
well,
cherry.
she's a whale. The white whale is Diana Weiss.
Welcome to. I didn't get to see this movie. Welcome to Marwin. That Steve Kerwin movie.
Nope, don't know what it is. I guess if I saw a picture, I would remember it. So
Yeah, but yep, she's been acting for a while. According here to Who, Gem and the Hologram. But yeah, she's in a few things.
yeah, and the white whale was Diana Weiss.
Dinah Weiss, and we've known her for a long time.
The most recently thing she was on was Life in Pieces. She was fucking hilarious on that show.
Yep, she was always that Greek mom. Edward Scissorhands, The Lost Boys, Footloose.
Yeah. So while they clean out this woman's house, she finds a key to a safety deposit, and inside that safety deposit box, hidden in a book, is a bag of diamonds. Meanwhile, elsewhere at the house, a taxi driver shows up
Mm-hmm.
looking for this woman. And they tell him he moved. She moved. She doesn't live here anymore. He's like, oh shit. Okay. And naturally, of course, you're like, excuse me, who called the cab? And he runs in the cab and pulls off. Now, a normal person would be, something's not right here. I think we need to be careful and maybe put it into this with this house right here. Nope. Nope. Between the diamonds and this guy showing up. Nope. Meryl is such a feminist. What is it? No, not feminist. She is
A lioness.
such an empowered woman that she continues forward and will not be beat. And, and at this point, this is when you start to realize this movie is basically women empowerment going too far. Because this becomes a running theme of the movie. So this guy goes back and meets what's his name again? What's his name?
His real name? The guy from Game of Thrones?
Yeah. Peter Dinklage,
Peter. Peter.
who you find out is a drug lord. Yes, they took the woman, they took the mother of a drug lord. And the rest of the movie itself is a cat and mouse game between him trying to get his diamonds and his mother out, and her trying to keep both of them and stay alive. And it's done really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
The acting is top notch. There are times when they have slow, heartfelt moments between Fran and Meryl, and you forget that these two people are pieces of shit. You start to feel sorry for them for a minute, and then all of a sudden you remember they're pieces of shit.
Right. And like, I'm like, oh, women empowerment. Oh, they've been through a struggle. Males trying to be on top. Wait,
Yeah,
this
it goes back.
douchebag.
It's like if you look at Payback, Mel Gibson movie, you didn't have it. It was Mel Gibson. Did you ever saw Payback?
No.
Oh, good. So you're going to be okay. Payback was a movie with Mel Gibson where he played a thief, and him and his partner goes on this score. I think it was for like 140,000, or maybe it was 300. I think it was 380,000. So, no, because it was very small. It was 140,000. It was $140,000, right? But we'll just say $140,000 was the entire score. So they pull off this score. I think they robbed the Yakuza or something, right? So after the score is pulled off, his partner betrays him and shoots him and steals his girl. Okay? So, yeah.
What? This sounds so good.
So there's no good guys in this. There are two fucking bad guys, right? Two antagonists. He's not even an anti-hero. Because this man is a thief who kills people. It wasn't like he was forced into this world or he grew up into this world. No, this was a world he chose because he starts out his life. He started out in the beginning as a driver for escorts. That was his original job, and then he moved up to thieving and willingly murders people to do it. So he's not an anti-hero. He is a bad man. But he has a code, and the code is to get what he works for and to get revenge. So you know who to root for in that movie because he has a code. The rest of the people do not. They even make a joke about it. It's a running gag. He wants his $70,000. They keep talking about the entire price. He's like, no, it's not. It's 70. He keeps at the guy. He's like, all right, call your boss. He calls his boss. He's like, I got a guy here. He's talking about this $140 that we got last year. He's like, no, not 100. Why does everybody keep saying $140? It's $70,000. But that's the thing. The code is he worked for the 70,000, so he just wants his money and he wants revenge on the guy who betrayed him. That's it. So you know who to root for. In this movie, neither one of these people have any type of code whatsoever, so you just bounce back and forth. 1 minute you're rooting for the Russian drug dealer who has people muling in drugs for him, not caring if they die. And then on the other hand, you have this chick who's fucking robbing old people of their life savings and having them die in nursing homes when they don't need to be there alone because don't have access to their
That's the
family.
saddest
So you're
thing.
just going back and forth on who to root for this entire movie. And like I said, there was a couple of times I felt sorry for both of them. Because it's just like, and then all of a sudden you remember, oh yeah, this is a piece of shit. Because what the other person doing was so fucked up. And you're like, oh shit. Actually, that person's a piece of shit too. So why do I feel sorry for any of these fuckers?
Word. I could feel like.
But it's written so well that you can't help but keep bouncing back and forth. I'll tell you one thing though. The ending put a smile on my face, and if it didn't end that way, this movie would have been a piece of shit, no matter how good the rest of it is. If the ending sucks, the whole movie is ruined. But no, this one, I love the ending. I put a smile on my face at the end. It put a smile on my face. Because at first I started grimacing, thinking they was going to end it differently. But when they actually ended it the way they ended, I was like, all right, I'm happy with that. that was good. Yeah, thank you. I'm a happy man.
I'm like, I was just so conflicted throughout the movie up until the very end. Like, oh my gosh, I was punching my fish. I'm like, oh wait. Oh my gosh. I'm like, wait. Oh
yeah.
wait.
So yeah, I would suggest everyone go. That's that. It's on Netflix. It's in their top 10. I think the first week it was #1. It might have dropped a little bit, but that is definitely worth checking out.
It's still in the top 10. Honestly, she inspired me to start working out.
And then you remember she's a piece of shit.
Right, but I'm like, piece of shit with a rib.
She was good at what she did, but yeah, that's some fucked up shit, man. Like, I mean, it wasn't even like a Robin Hood thing. None of these people deserve this. They were just random people. She just didn't give a fuck. She had no morals.
Right, and they tried to justify it because, like, oh, people treat us like poo. Doesn't mean you gotta treat them like
she
poo,
had
too.
no fucking morals at all. None whatsoever. Like, she was I think they literally went out of their way to make her the definition of the word. Man, oh man.
Like, wow, yeah. It was well done. Well done.
Other than actually murdering someone in cold blood. And in some cases, this might actually be worse. I mean, I don't think you can get any worse than that, but in some perspective, what she was doing might actually be worse because you got these old people on drugs in a nursing home, unable to see their families. Because they didn't have to. They did not have to have no family. They just had to be living alone with money. That's the only requirement she had. And I'm like, man, so if their family, if they had a son in the next town over who can only come see her once a month, meanwhile, she's perfectly fine with this, they would get her. They would get her and stick her in that nursing home, which is what happened to that guy in the beginning of the movie. He lived where he can only see her like once a month or something like that. And they got her and then denied him access and claimed that the fact that he couldn't take care of her because he could only see her once a month. Like that movie was good. Go check that out.
Definitely.
All right, Robin, what's in the news?
In the news, I forgot to bring this up while we were talking about DC reboot nonsense. So I don't know if you heard, but Superman movie is getting a
reboot. Oh my god.
We don't know
there
yet. We don't
is
know the full
a black
detailing,
Superman. I didn't know this, but there is a black Superman. He's on a different Earth.
It's like they're calling it. It's like they're branching off the terminology reboot. Like it's not a reboot, no, but technically they're trying to branch it into the reboot category. Just another
Yeah,
story, just like how they're
that's
doing Robert Pattinson's
yeah.
Batman story. Like
That
it's
wait,
another.
doesn't that take place in the Justice League universe?
It
So then
does,
that's
but
not a
doesn't
reboot.
like
That's
that.
continuation
But
of the Justice League
DC,
universe.
it's weird. I
Uh,
like DC is categorizing it
yeah,
as a
no,
reboot,
I
and
don't
this is
think it's
why.
DC. I think it's just dumbass fans. I don't think I have
Why?
not heard anything about DC actually saying that it is a reboot.
You know what? You're right. But,
Yeah, I haven't
I
heard
wouldn't be
DC
surprised. At
themselves
the
saying
same
it.
time, I wouldn't be surprised if they did refer to it because DC we're talking about.
Because
I don't
my
know if you
sister
heard,
told
like,
me that
Lois
she said,
and.
"Oh yeah, they're
Uh
doing
huh.
they're gonna make Black Superman." I was like, I don't know if I like that. It depends because I don't care what color Superman is. Just like I don't care what color Spider Man is. I don't care what color Bruce Wayne is. Well, Batman is. What I care about is whether it's Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, or Peter Parker. That's it. If it's not one of them, then I don't care. I didn't like Miles Morales. I did not like Miles Morales.
I liked him a
I
lot.
hated him because he wasn't Peter Parker. Plain and simple. Had nothing to do with his skin
But it's an
color.
alternate
I didn't like the
universe.
Ultimate Universe. I didn't like that. And honestly, I didn't like that Peter Parker either. Ultimate Universe sucked.
I.
It sucked.
You
Especially Ultimate Spider
didn't
Man.
like.
Why the fuck is all his villains revolved around his goddamn father? That's fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. There's no way you
His
can have that
father?
many enemies surrounded around one person in your life. Fucking bullshit.
Wait, are you? Oh, you're talking about the movie Amazing Spider-Man?
I'm talking no, the Ultimate Universe. Every villain of his was revolved around his father, even Venom. It was a bio suit made by him and I think Eddie Brock's father. His, yeah, everything around Peter Parker's life in the Ultimate Universe revolved around his father. That's why I hated the Ultimate Universe so much. I was like, nah, man. Made no sense whatsoever. None. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, no, it wasn't Peter. It's not Peter Parker. I don't like it. If it's not Clark Kent, I don't like it. If it's not Bruce Wayne, I don't like it. Yeah, it takes a while for it to grow on me, and it just has to do with the character. I'm not one of those people who just like the Spider-Man stuff. I'm into the personalities of each character, and each one is different, and each one is different from the other one.
Yeah, I love it. Since what was that movie, that Spider-Man series that was voiced by Josh Bell on Disney? That was really good. And how they dove into the different universes of Spider-Man, that was so well done.
I have no idea what you're talking
That
about.
was
The only one I know about is Into the
uh
Spider Verse.
no, it was like a series, a Spider-Man series. Other My favorite Spider-Man series was the one from the '90s, but that one with the voice of Josh
I
Bell, that
I
was my
stopped
second
watching
favorite.
the Spider-Man series after Spider-Man. What was it? Beyond.
Oh, when he went to
Yeah,
space.
yeah, that was it for me. was that was it for me. And they had the Beyonder. Was it the Beyonder or was it the other one?
No, I think the one he was out in space with the new suit. Alternate universe.
No, the was it the Beyonder or was it the it wasn't the Collector or maybe it was the Collector. It was either the Beyonder or the Collector. I forgot which one. When he
Yeah.
was out in space and he went to a different planet.
I remember he was attached to what's his face's son's ship.
Yeah, and they went to a different planet, and the leader of that planet was either the Beyonder or the Collector. I forgot which one.
I forgot. I just remember a rebellion that alternate Mary Jane was
Then
fighting
he had the
in.
Beast Monsters. It was so stupid.
Yeah,
It was the
vaguely. But
worst.
I digress. So
Oh
just
yes, we
days
are talking
after the
about the
premieres.
Superman. Yes, yes. So yes, my sister told
Yeah,
at first. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's what we got. Anyway, she's like, no, it's not a reboot. It's another Superman. And then she told me it was from Earth, whatever. I'm like, oh,
Earth
no, it's
2,
not. It's not Earth Two.
supposedly.
It's
Yeah.
Earth 20 something or other. I don't remember exact which 20s it is. Not Earth 2, it's 20 something. You know they got 52 universes.
Yeah, I read it was Earth 2, but okay.
Oh, she said 22 something. I don't know.
So they premiered the new Superman and Lois series. I heard it did
That
really
was, oh
well.
my
I'll take a
God.
look
That was
at
the other
it.
thing I wanted to talk about. Yes, that is good. I saw it. It is so good. But
Can't wait.
it would be good. The thing is, it's not like the regular. That's what I was going. It's not like the regular stuff on there. The regular stuff in that universe. This is more. This is more of a TV drama. Not. No, I'm
Ooh.
sorry. It's more. It's more of a teen drama than it is like like Flash and Arrow and stuff like that. Like if you take the Superman stuff out, you would think you were watching like One Tree Hill or something like that. Yeah,
Oh,
if
okay,
yeah,
that's
it's
interesting.
that type of concept. Yeah, if you took all the Superman stuff out, it's just like watching One Tree Hill. You got the family drama, you got the drama between because he has two kids. He has two kids. So you got the family drama.
I didn't watch it yet.
Okay.
What? He has two kids? What?
Yeah, see this is what happens when you don't keep up with the universe. Lois got pregnant in Supergirl, and then they had to go to Argos, which is by a red sun, in order for her to have the kids. Because some of the people from wherever Supergirl was from, I forgot what part of Krypton she was on. They survived and made a new Argos. Oh, duh, stupid. It was called Argos. Some of the people from Argos on Krypton survived and made a new Argos near a red sun. And Supergirl found them. So then she told Superman, and he said, "Great, because Lois is pregnant, and if she has the baby here, she gonna die." So they went over to Argos and stayed there for Lois to have the baby. Turned out it was twins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay, I look forward
and
to
it takes
watching.
place. See, let's say that was 2020, 2019, right? So 2020, the kids would be born. They're in their teens. So at this point, I think they were like 15. So yeah, at this point, it's like 15, 16. I mean, 13, 14 years later. It's 13, 14 years into the future. They don't
Mm-hmm.
give a date, but if you follow the series, you know. So it's 13, 14 years into the future. And it's his boys are teens. So yeah, that's why it's like
Wow.
watching an episode of One Tree Hill because it revolves around. It's more like you know what it's like. It's like Lois and Clark, except with kids.
I love that
Yeah, they
show.
spent more time with Lois and Clark and their relationship than they did on the Superman stuff. They're doing the same thing here, except with kids. So now it's more like One Tree Hill.
Got
Yeah,
it.
because they're in the
Um,
same universe. They're in the Arrowverse. There's a chance they might bring Arrow back too.
really?
I
Eh.
mean, they're considering it. They've had talks about ways they could do it if they wanted to do it, to bring them back, and not talking about the like spinoff, like actual Oliver Queen. If they wanted to bring them back, they were talking about ways they could do it just in case. So the idea is not completely off the table. They don't have any
Hmm.
plans to do it, but it's not off the table. But you were saying that it did well. Not surprised.
Yes, it did very well. And after they announced J.J. Abrams is working on the new Superman movie, they made it official. They will produce a new Superman film written by best-selling author and comic book writer Tanashi Kotas. Kotas?
I don't know.
And it's not clear whether Henry Cavill will return to reprise the roles in the Superman movie.
Why
So,
would he come and
although
what do you? If they're making a
I
black
have
Superman,
no,
why the hell would he come back?
although the
Yeah, why would he be in that? Why would I'm just
director
saying? Why would he be in that movie? Why would he reprise that role? That's not Kal-El. That's not Clark. His name is Calvin. I'm just not sure. Well, if
Ah, I got it. It's in the extended DC universe. This movie, that's
yes, that's what I
DC
said. He's
extended
on Earth
universe.
20, whatever. That's I'm like, wait, it's not sure if he's going to. Why would he reprise that role? That's not even the same Superman. That's Calvin, not Clark.
Right. So yeah. So we're waiting to hear more news directly from DC for that because yeah, you're right. The fans are just gonna go haywire with stuff. So moving on, we're gonna do entertainment for because like there's been a lot going on in the entertainment world. I don't know if you watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, yes, the Mandalorian star. I didn't know what happened. I thought she left the show because starred Gina
Yeah. No, she got kicked off.
Carino.
She's a she's a
Yeah,
former MA
I
she's a
thought she
former
left the
MA
show.
fighter who looked pretty and was foreseen as making it to mainstream into movies. That's what it was. Like she looked pretty. She was a good fighter, but they would always make her fight people weaker than her because they saw a future in her outside of MMA. She did one movie and it was alright. Didn't have many words, so I don't know how good her acting really was back then. But then after that one movie, Ronda Rousey came out, and Ronda Rousey started taking the spotlight, so she kind of like disappeared into the shadow because of Ronda Rousey. That's what happened with her. That's why most people don't even know her. She did a movie. I forgot what it was called. I saw it in the theaters. I forgot the name of it, but that was the only movie she starred in. Like I'm sure she did a couple other stuff in backgrounds, but she actually starred in that one, and that's the only one because right after that movie came out, Ronda Rousey started getting noticed, and then she became the top female fighter.
Yeah, because what made me look into this part was because I saw something else that came out with involving Ted Cruz talking about the Mandalorian. So yeah, Gina got fired, even though she was actually in talks of getting her own spin-off show. Womp womp. She will not be returning to Mandalorian after sharing posts on social media implying that being Republican today is like being Jewish during the Holocaust.
Yeah. And then she tried to, I don't know if it was her or someone else, but they tried to say, what's the difference between her saying that and this meme that had a picture of the Holocaust side by side with all the Mexican children that Trump had in cages to send back to wherever they came from because apparently their parents were here illegal. And I'm like,
Terrible.
you do not know the difference between what she said and that?
Son, she was trying to
like,
fight Disney.
like
I didn't know
there
that
are
she said that.
kids
That's
in
crazy.
cages and it looks like a concentration camp. And someone is showing how it looks like a concentration camp. There is no comparison at all to being a Republican to being Jewish during the Holocaust. None. Nobody is getting put in the concentration
Yeah,
camps because they're Republicans. Okay? People are getting put in the camps like they're in the concentration camps because their parents are illegal and these are kids. This that picture is nothing offensive about it. It's just showing how these things look similar because this is what's happening now, just like what happened back then. What you said was just an asshole remark.
ignorant asshole remark. And it's just very disappointing. Had high hopes for her.
And my brother said it's because she's used to being untouchable. Because, like I said, they wouldn't let her fight anyone who actually stood a chance of hurting her because they saw that she would be marketable outside of MMA. Which she was.
And the
Which she
fact that
was for a little
she
while.
tried to fight
And it actually
this.
did put MMA, it actually made people look at MMA because, hey, who's this chick? Oh, she can fight from that movie. But unfortunately, Ronda Rousey was whooping people's asses. They're like, oh, crap. She really beating the hell out of those girls over there.
Yeah, it's just wild. That's crazy. And like she had the goal to fight Disney for this. Like
Yeah, that was her argument. that stupid, that the picture. Oh, how come this picture's okay and what I said isn't? If you don't see the
ignorant.
difference
She
between
got
those
knocked
two,
in the
well,
head
you
too
got
many times.
problems.
So then I saw this on another article. Daisy Ridley fires back at Ted Cruz after he defends Gina over the Mandalorian firing. I'm like, Ted Cruz, you
Who
need
the
to
hell is Ted
after
Cruz?
what happened in your state. Remember last week I covered the senator
Oh,
who left
right,
his
right. I
state in the
forgot
middle of
about him. That's right. That's right.
right, you forgot about it. Then he brings himself back into the mix with this nonsense.
Wait, should we call him stupid people doing stupid shit? Because I think it's the same stupid shit.
Like,
Oh, does that count?
shit, let's
I'm
count
sitting
it
there thinking
because
too. Wow,
like
we don't have anything that has to do with stupid people doing stupid shit. And then enter walks Ted Cruz.
so here was his tweet. Texan Gina Carino broke barriers in the Star Wars universe.
Right.
Okay. Not as a princess, not as a victim, not some emotionally tortured Jedi.
No, wait, what? No, he said emotionally tortured Jedi.
Yeah.
Well,
He
I hate to
added,
tell you this, Ted, but that didn't make barriers either. that just made everybody
oh,
regret seeing the prequels.
and he added, Cara Dunn, her character, played a woman who kicked ass and who girls looked up to. She was instrumental in making Star Wars fun again. Of course, Disney
And
canceled her.
what does that have to do with what she said?
Nothing! Absolutely nothing! Stupid! You're so stupid!
Right. That's him coming to her defense. Like, what? And then Daisy, our most recent Jedi, in the new reboot of the the refresher franchise. She's what is her character's name? Ray. Ray. She came on. She was like, she was smooth
Wait,
with
who
it.
who
Let
is
me
this? I was
read what
busy laughing
she.
at
Daisy Ray, the most recent Star Wars
oh
films,
the chick
the
oh the
Jedi,
oh the
the
chick who played
emotional
Jay.
Jedi.
I mean, who played Jay? Who played Rain?
Yes,
Ray, whatever her damn name is.
Ray.
Ray
Ray.
Skywalker,
Yeah,
whatever. Ray
yeah.
Palpatine Skywalker.
And she says, I am very happy being an emotionally tortured Jedi who doesn't leave their state when it's having a terrible time.
Well, there you go. I would have came up with something better than that, but good job there.
I mean, you gotta choose your words. Like with all this social media, losing your job, watch what you say and do. But she seems like the type not to
I
be
would have
too
made it more
aggressive
snappy.
with it.
This emotional, whatever Jedi stays to fight the fight. So make a little put an ass to it.
Right, that would have been more cool. Yeah, totally.
At least this emotionally angst Jedi stays to fight the fight.
You see that's very good. You should be a writer for.
A little pizzazz to it.
So that's fun.
There we go. We met our quota for today. Stupid people doing stupid shit. Repeat offender.
Mm-hmm.
Just kept his mouth shut. I'm supporting my fellow Texan. Yeah, you didn't do that last week, did you, dickwad? Got the fuck out of town.
It's funny. It's like we're just covering reboots. Well, but I have another reboot story. I don't know if you ever used to
I
watch
heard they're bringing that
Frasier.
back.
Yep, they're rebooting it with Kelsey Grammer rephrasing his role 17 years
That's
after
not
the
a
show
reboot.
ended.
Stop calling these reboots.
I'm telling you,
That's
that's
just a
what they're calling.
continuation. Unless you're gonna start from the beginning, you just continuing going.
They don't want to use that word.
Like if you're acknowledging
Yeah, they don't.
time has passed, then you're just continuing the story. Stop calling it a fucking reboot.
There is logic in what he says.
Amazing Spider-Man
That's
was a
very true.
reboot. Spider-Man
Yes,
Homecoming
that was
was
a
a
complete reboot.
which technically wasn't even a reboot for Spider-Man. The reboot for Spider-Man was in Civil Wars. But, those are reboots. Continuing the story in the time period in which it was gone, not even exaggerating, the exact time period in which it was gone, is just continuing. You can go off the air and continue. No one's going to fault you for it. Jesus fucking Christ. Reboot.
They're just using the term reboot to branch off. That tree, like branching it off, like instead of using continuation. I feel maybe they think reboot is more exciting. I don't know.
Like, it's not, you're not restarting. When you reboot your computer, you restart it.
Yeah, it's going to be the flagship, one of the
Something
flagship
else
series.
they're continuing too.
Hmm.
There's something else they're continuing too. We was talking about that last night. I wish I could remember. I didn't know this was going to be a thing. I would have wrote it down. But yeah, I did hear Frasier was being brought back.
Oh, Rugrats too.
Rugrats I didn't know about.
Rugrats. Would you categorize it technically?
Now,
It's not
Animaniacs and Rugrats you can call a reboot
Animaniacs.
because they don't have set, like every episode is its own episode. With Frasier, if someone marries someone in one episode, guess what? Later on, they're still married. Well, no, maybe I don't know. I guess you can't call it because she did have kids in the show. But Animaniacs you can call a reboot.
Rugrats, I'll explain to you. Pretty much, it's the same, but they're CGI characters.
But it's continuing the same storyline.
Yeah, it's just different. It's like CGI character.
Well, it depends on how they do it. I guess you can reboot. I guess it'll be a reboot if they just start from the beginning again.
Yeah, it's like as
Actually,
if
that one can be a
Rugrats never
reboot
ended, but it's just different
because
animation. It's
nobody grows up on that
CGI.
show. Nobody gets older. You can't reboot something with the same cast and continuing story when people are getting older. Rugrats, nobody gets older. It's a cartoon. You can reboot that.
Well, they had grown-ups where they were teenagers.
That was flashbacks though. Oh, Flash Pro. Oh, that's right. They did
No,
have
they
a
had a
show.
show
Yeah, all
all
grown up. I forgot
grown
about
up.
that. Yeah, I forgot about it because it lasted one season.
I
That's why
really wanna shout it
it
out.
wasn't good.
That was cute.
It wasn't good.
No, it wasn't good, but it was cute. It was not. I like that little special that they had where it
Yes,
would go
that was
into their
good, but
future.
the entire series on
That
it
was
wasn't good.
so good. Like
It was good. It was a one off was good. The entire series it wasn't good at all
it was so disappointing. Why was
because they were
that? Why did
trying
they
to
lack
do the
in that?
exact same thing they did with Rugrats, and it didn't work because they're not babies. That's why it was the same writers writing the same way for Rugrats, and they're not children. They're not even not children. They're not babies. So it didn't land the same way with teens and preteens. That's why it didn't. That's why it didn't last.
Yeah, literally this the reboot. Well,
But no, this could be a reboot because it's a cartoon. They don't age.
yeah. So it's just CGI. It's like is it CGI the term that I'm using for this type of animation, like Toy Story?
You know, like He-Man. They rebooted He-Man because it started over. That's fine. Yeah, this is this.
No,
Yeah,
they did.
you know they rebooted He-Man twice.
I remember the one that was like not the 80s, the one that came out like early
Was that
2000s.
the one on Cartoon Network? And then the one
Yeah.
before that, he was in space.
I did
You
not see
don't
that
remember the
one.
He-Man in space? They made him thinner. He had on blue jeans.
No,
Yeah, he was in space.
I actually want to check that
Yeah,
out.
He-Man in space.
That's funny. I definitely want to
Yeah,
check
like
that out.
Thundercats. That was a reboot. Started from the beginning. I guess
Man, I wish they continued that. I wanted to see how that played out.
like shit, just like He-Man. These reboots fucking suck.
Oh my gosh, I started watching Fairy Tale, and it took me years to actually sit there. I watched a few episodes years ago, but I'm like, no, the show's no. But then I am so emotionally involved in
You know
Fairy
what it
Tale now.
is? It's the animation. I almost did. I almost watched like stopped after the third episode. The animation is the animation gets better, but in the beginning, it seems like it was drawn in like the early '90s. That's how it feels,
Right.
and it's
That's probably
jarring while you're
yeah.
watching it.
Because
It's just like this just looks weird now. But then the animation gets better, and so does the stories.
totally, because that's exactly what happened. I'm on episode like what 60 something. I'm like, I got like I'm involved. Like I
Yeah, a friend
can't
of mine
stop.
in Ukraine, she said the same thing. She's like, "Yeah, I watched a couple of episodes. I don't like the old stuff." I knew exactly what she was saying. She's like, it was the old style anime. She watched the first couple of episodes. It was the old style animation, like the early '90s, like almost to the point where beginning. It was not quite. It was like I would say at that point, this is Android Saga, Dragon Ball Z. That's what the animation was like.
Mm-hmm.
Android Saga, Dragon Ball Z, which by today's standards is kind of jarring to look at for the first time of a series. Like I can look at the Android Saga and not be fine, but somebody watching it for the first time right now after watching recent animes would be looking at the animation like something's funny here. Why do they look like this?
Right.
Yeah, my uncle did the same thing. He watched it first and then he just stopped. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, no, keep going, keep going. It's the animation. The animation gets better.
Because that's probably exact. Because I'm like, it took me years to try this
Yeah, I
again.
almost turned it off myself, but something kept me interested. I forgot what it was, and I was like, you know what, this is actually pretty good. This is actually pretty good. And then the
I
animation
did
got better,
became
and I was like,
emotionally
okay,
involved.
this is awesome.
Way better. I thought we'd be tearing up some episodes. I'm like, okay, not too great. Listen.
Yeah, actually, I'm at the end of the regular fairy tale now. I think I got like a couple of more episodes, and then I got to get to zero, and then I'll get to the final season. Yeah,
Yeah, totally. The animation really got better.
yeah.
Oh
When you
my
get to the end of
gosh.
fairy tale, it's not the end. The next one is Fairy Tale Zero. It gives you the history of how Fairy Tale came to be, which is important to the series. And
What? There's a Fairy
Yeah,
Tale
but
Zero?
you can't watch it before Fairy Tale. You have to watch it in the order it was made, because then it all makes sense. You try to watch it. If you try to watch them out of order, you're gonna get very confused.
Oh my gosh, it's so like literally I cry, I laugh, like there are episodes that have me bust out laughing. I have to rewind
I
and
did
laugh
that.
again.
I was watching an episode. Oh, it was an episode where they had a jar, and they were playing, and someone was trying to get another group was trying to get the jar from them, a jar of liquid, and they were playing catch, and they threw
Hmm.
it to Happy, and I started laughing before it even happened because I knew it was gonna happen. Because they were playing the happy music, like the celebration, happy, goofy, yeah, we're number one type music, and they get the happy, and they did it in slow motion, and it just went past his head and broke. But I knew it was gonna happen, and I started dying laughing even before the image came on the screen. Yeah, I started rolling. I was like, "Oh, he's gonna miss it." And I could see it going flying past his head before it actually flew past his head. I just started rolling, and I laughed the entire time because I just knew it was gonna happen, and I knew it was gonna be happy. It happened too.
Of course. That's funny. I look
Yeah,
forward to that.
it was fucking hilarious. When you get to that, it's only gonna pop in your head that I mentioned it. You're just gonna start laughing before you even see the image, and it's still funny knowing.
Like there's so many episodes, but I actually look forward to watching
Yeah,
them all.
yeah.
I don't usually invest in long-term animes like this,
I
but
want to rewatch Bleach, but I'm gonna wait until I finish this. Hell, I've watched My Hero Academia like 4 times.
do that.
Four
Oh yeah.
times, and I mean the entire
Oh.
series. 4 times.
Are you gonna do it again when the new season comes out?
If I have nothing else to watch, that's the thing. I didn't have any other animes to watch, and it didn't occur to me any of those 4 times to rewatch Fairy Tale because it was kind of still too fresh. I was like, I really like this. Just can watch it over again. I started watching the Rising Shield Hero. That's pretty good actually.
It is pretty good.
That episode.
My coworkers actually got me to watch that. I'm like, I don't know. Like, nah, you like it. I'm like, oh, okay, this
Yeah,
is pretty good. I'll wait for the
I
next
don't remember
season.
what episode I'm up to, but I'm midway. I'm somewhere. I have to be somewhere midway through the first season because they did the end of the arc credits. So
Mm-hmm,
I'm a little
mm-hmm.
past that. I don't know how much you've seen of it already.
I finished it, Shield Hero.
Oh, okay. So what was the last episode I watched? I think the last episode I watched was when he turned evil for a minute because he
Like
thought
the
he thought
absorb the.
he thought the Chocobo got eaten by the the zombie dragon. I think
Mm-hmm,
the episode
mm-hmm.
after that was the last one.
Got it.
Yeah, she did the Chocobo. Yo, I started dying laughing, and I was watching it with my friend in Ukraine. She has no idea what the fuck a Chocobo is. I was cracking up. I was like, it's a fucking
I have
Chocobo.
no
You
idea
don't know what a
either.
Chocobo is? It's from
No, I'm assuming you're meaning the bird girl.
Final Fantasy VII. Well, Final Fantasy series. You've never know, yo. How do you
Mm-mm.
people know that's what they got? That's what that is. It's a chocobo. Google chocobo right now. Chocobo. It's the fastest vehicle, at least in Final Fantasy VII. It was the fastest vehicle you could have. It's a fucking chocobo. It's based off an ostrich. That's where they got the idea from. But yeah, it's a chocobo. They were even playing the chocobo music.
Oh, Final Fantasy. Oh, that's funny.
Hold on.
I see it. Yeah, I see it. It
No,
does
wait.
look just like.
No, not that it does. It is. Watch. Listen. This is the music they were playing in the background. Oh, my headphones plugged in. No, wait, that's not it. I don't know where this came from. Hold on, that's not it. Get off my screen. Oh, there it is. It's a fancy version. Let me see if I can find the video game version. Oh, it's probably here. Okay, yeah, they're probably playing. You remember they were playing this when they was at the race? Watch
No,
it
I
again
don't
when you go over
remember.
the race and listen to the background. Actually, no. When they first showed what it was, you can hear it. Watch when they first show the chokables. Listen to the background when he first gets the egg and he's like, "What is this?" And they talk about the cash point. I'm like, "That's a fucking chocobo," and I started dying laughing because I heard the music. I'm like, "It is a chocobo. They're playing a chocobo music."
Probably a nod to
But
it.
wait, I
That's
can
funny.
probably find it right now since I'm on YouTube. Red Hero Rising. What did they call it?
Shield
No,
Hero?
what did they call the thing?
A Florian
What is it? Oh, the Rise of Shield
Florian
Hero.
Queen? Yeah, Rise of Shield Hero. Oh, I thought you
No,
meant
no,
her
I
name.
did her name. I was saying to myself, what is it? Rise of Shield. I was saying that out loud so I can remember. What was the name of the What was the name of her species?
A Florian. And she was the Florian Queen.
Philo.
Phyla. Yeah.
Let me see.
Get paid up to 2
See
days
if I can
early with
find.
direct deposit.
I hate these
Install the
ads,
Chime app today and get started.
I know. Oh my gosh. It's like, what happened to the Disney?
but that is something creepy that I did not want. You don't even want to know what that was. That was really creepy. Yo, I don't understand what is wrong with some people and their fetishes with certain things. Okay. No, this wasn't it. I guess I was just high.
Maybe.
Okay, what were we up to? Before I went on a chokeable music hunt,
Um.
we were talking about Frasier.
Oh yeah, Frasier reboot and that Paramount. That's going to be the flagship for their new streaming service.
Fuck, what the hell else is coming on Paramount?
Rugrats, like MTV shows, Nickelodeon shows, CBS shows. They're the parent company for a lot, it seems. But yeah, a lot of things are coming on Paramount. Looking at it.
Got anything else?
So recently, Lady Gaga's dog walker was attacked and shot. He was walking three of Lady Gaga's dogs. Yeah, so someone ran up during broad daylight, ran up on Lady Gaga's dog walker, shot him, kidnapped two of the bulldogs. Lady Gaga offered, was it
Wow.
$500,000 reward?
Damn. I thought that shit was like in the movies. You want to really kidnap someone's dog?
Right, two of them. The third one got away.
That's insane.
Yeah, and there was a woman who found the dogs. Yeah, right, and reached out to Lady Gaga's staff to return them.
So what? What? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Someone shot the dog walker, took two of the dogs,
came out. Two of
asked
the
for a
dogs.
ransom,
They were out.
and then
Yep.
somebody.
No, they didn't ask her. Lady Gaga
Oh, she offered a
a
reward.
reward for the dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then someone
So the
found
two,
the dogs just.
right. Yeah, I'll read it. The two French bulldogs who were violently stolen from Lady Gaga's dog walker have been returned safely, the Los Angeles Police Department on Friday. A woman who wasn't named met the entertainer staff and detectives at the police station around 6 p.m. The woman found the dogs and reached out to Lady Gaga's staff to return them, the
Found them
statement said. The
where?
woman's where the hell
This
did you
is
possibly find
weird.
these
I
dogs that
understand
were
not giving out
stolen?
like personal information, but where did she find them in an alley? She find them in somebody. Where did she find these dogs? Are they just roaming around the park? And what happened to the kidnappers?
I don't know.
Maybe this lady bought them and then realized that they were. We don't know. They don't know anything.
That's nuts.
So there was a home surveillance video that showed the attack. The footage recorded by a home surveillance camera obtained by CNN showed the man walking on what police identified as a Syria, pretty much an avenue in Hollywood, when a light colored sedan slows down and stops next to him. At least two individuals can be seen exiting the vehicle, accosting the dog walker as a physical altercation ensures. The footage also contains vivid audio in which the victim can be heard telling attackers, no, 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 as he struggles with the men. One attacker restrains the victim, and the other appears to point a gun. A gunshot can be heard, and the victim falls backwards as the assailants race back to the car.
Did they have the dogs with them?
According to LAPD, the Sultans took the they took the dogs.
So what the hell is going on here?
It's crazy. I'm like, wow, what the heck is going on?
There's a lot not being said, which means that they probably got the guys or know where the guys are. I don't know if she's like turned them in or she happened to be a neighbor to see them and snuck the doors out. Something's going on that they're not saying because that just said like you have no idea what happened to the kidnappers, no idea where she found these dogs. There's more. They have more information that they're letting out. Because if they didn't have any information, they would have said something, you know. So they definitely have more information than they're letting out, and they don't want the guys to know that they're onto them. Because it's just too damn blank. They found the dogs. The lady found the dogs.
Right.
Like, where did she find the dogs?
And the reward was offered to anyone, like even if you bought them by mistake or you just found them,
Maybe she
anyone.
did buy them. Maybe she bought them off of somebody.
Yeah, maybe she did, giving
Maybe
her
they
the
didn't
benefit
even
of
know
the
that was
doubt.
Lady Gaga's dogs. Maybe they just steal dogs and sell them to other people. And she recognized them. But they're not saying anything because she has a connection to those guys, and they did shoot somebody. So they don't want them to skip
Mm-hmm.
town. Because, yeah, there's too much missing information.
And actually, like, I'm looking and waiting to hear more because I'm like, because when I first heard the news break, I'm like, whoa, so someone ran up on this dog walker, shot him, and took the dogs. Either they had a vendetta against him, knew
Nope.
whose dogs those were, or were
Nope.
just being
I
petty.
guarantee
Like,
you this was a racket they do. They steal dogs and they sell them. Guarantee you that's what happened. They had no idea that was Lady Gaga's dogs. Because they would still have them if they knew that was Lady Gaga's dogs. No, this is just a scam that they do. They find someone walking a dog,
that's
they
insane.
steal that dog, and then they resell it to someone else.
And then you never know whose
Yeah,
dog you're stealing.
they just happen to steal it like this, like I care a lot. She happened to con the wrong old lady. They happened to steal the
Hmm.
wrong pair of dogs.
I don't know why that reminds me what happened a few weeks ago. Nicki Minaj's dad got killed by a hit and run in Nassau County, not that far off.
I didn't know that.
And yeah, it was really sad. Like hit and run Nassau County, he was walking. And honestly, the only reason why the guy probably came forward was that it was Nicki Minaj's dad. So it turns out this dude, he left the scene. He looked at the body. He got out his car. There's surveillance videos and everything. He got out his car, looked at the man he just hit, stared at him, got back in his
Yeah,
car,
no,
hid
he
the
didn't turn
car.
himself in because he turned himself in because his ass was caught. He didn't care
Yes, pretty
whose
much,
person
right?
that, whose parent
He
that was. When he found out there was video footage of him, he turned himself in.
right, exactly. He please, yeah, he wasn't doing it. Yeah, because I have to read. I'm like, oh, was he being kind? No, because he went home, hid his car
Yeah.
because he knew what he did,
And then when he realized there was footage of him
and
getting out, I don't know how he found out, but he found out.
it was an older white guy.
Yeah.
And it was sad because he could have survived because he died at the hospital. So if the guy
Wow.
took the time to call, that's what makes it really fucked up. If you took the time to at
911.
least call
Yeah.
911,
Wow.
took some remorse, I'm like, wow, that's really jacked up. I think it was during the broad daylight too.
Hey, being afraid makes you do really stupid things.
Douche move. Like you did. The fact that he dead came out the car, stared at him, got back in the car.
Yeah, he probably came out. He saw what he did, freaked out, trying to figure out what to do, and just took off. And being scared makes you do really stupid shit. I'm not making excuses for him, but yeah, being scared makes you do stupid shit. That's probably what happened. He thought about it. He thought about everything he had to lose, freaked out, and just took off, hoping that this was just some random homeless person.
And it was far
Yeah,
from
I'm telling you, that's what he was thinking. And then when he found out about the security cameras,
hmm
it's better to turn himself in now than have them knocking down his door. At least you can tell. At least the judge can take that in consideration. That's what he was thinking, because that's what happens on
Yeah.
TV, and people think TV is like real life. Trust me, turning yourself in is not going to be taken in consideration because you left the scene of a crime the first time.
Right. And then the fact that you tried to hide your card, like, yeah, let's include that as one of the news articles too. But yeah, that's all I got this week in the news.
Oh wow, this is a short show. This is what happens when a movie's actually good.
Right, we don't want to spoil it for you.
I think we spent more time bullshitting looking for stuff online than actually talking in the show. That's all right though. I got stuff I gotta do. I gotta finish editing last week's episode anyway.
And I have to go out and, well, I have to get ready to be a person
Ready to be a person.
without a baby attached to my hip. Oh,
All right. Well, I guess that's it for the day, everyone. You can catch us on YouTube on Cinemastrophe and type in Cinemastrophe or for the comma Don Perignon. All my stuff should come up, especially my old video reviews, shit I hate, some gameplays and live plays. You can also find us on Facebook under Cinemastrophe. You can follow me on Twitter or on Instagram, Don Perignon77, and you can email us or leave comments in leave questions in the comments. Our email is at donperignon_v1 @yahoo.com. Ask us whatever you want to ask, and we'll try to answer them in a respectable way. Try. Got anything you need to plug?
A Glade, plug it in. No. Nah, nothing.
Oh yeah, almost forgot. Yeah, you can just type in cinemastrophe.com and everything's up there. And if you're listening on you're listening on YouTube and you want to be up to date and not a week behind, you can catch us each and every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on your local podcast network. Say goodnight, Robin.
I'm like, what's
Shoot.
TubeTube? I'm like, you really got me with TubeTube. I'm like, is that a new streaming service? And watch you say it, and then we'll see like a month from now. Oh, TubeTube, the new
What the
streaming
hell would
service.
you do on TubeTube? What does that even mean? You know what? We should start a streaming service called TubeTube. People will go on there just because it's called TubeTube.
Word, and you could record you're being, as you watch shows, your reactions are being recorded.
You know what? That's actually a good idea, TubeTube. And you record reactions. You record 1 minute reactions of stuff. Heard it here first. It's on a TubeTube, where you record your reactions to watching a video, less than a minute or a minute or less.
I'm telling you, maybe we should trademark that.
No, we just did. We said it first. It's the first time you heard of it, TubeTube, and anything like that. So if anything like that comes up, it was here first. Reaction videos where you record yourself watching a video and your reactions, less than a minute or less. Kind of like the old Vines, only it's reaction videos. TubeTube.
I like that.
Now we just need to find a programmer to do this, an app programmer.
Sure, it's out there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. If anybody's an app programmer listening to the show, contact us at donperignon_v1 @yahoo.com, and we'll make something happen here, because that's actually a pretty good idea. I think that has potential.
It really, look at that. Maybe we do work better during the day, coming up with trademark ideas. Look at that.
Maybe we work better sober.
I'm about to not be sober, so yeah, baby.
We're just more fun when we're not sober.
Indeed. Mm-hmm.
Say goodnight, Robin.
Good night, good afternoon, whichever floats your boat. Daylight savings coming to an end soon, so yeah.
Oh, God, I hate that. That's less time to sleep. Good night, everybody.
Good night.